All right. Hey, y'all. What's up? So, look, I like Charlie Kirk a lot, man. I've been following him for many years now, and I love when he just debates these college students who think they know everything. They just gotcha questions all day long. Charlie Kirk nails the living daylights out of these kids. But it's just facts. It's just things that they never thought of. They don't know. They don't understand this stuff because they don't study it. Charlie Kirk know what he's talking about. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play. I want to react to this video, man.
Do it. And my question has to do with affirmative action, and I mentioned several times earlier. In the history of the United States, as we all know, Civil War ended in 1865, and a lot of people think that slavery ended back then, but there was another form that is called indentured servitude that lasted until around the early 1900s, and so this form sort of continued, and then we got the civil rights movement in 1965. And so my question is, given the history, there are injustices done on people of color, and do you think that they deserve some sort of reconciliation? And if so, if not with affirmative action, what form? And if affirmative action is the answer, which according to your answer earlier, not exactly what you agree with, but for what length, right? How long should it last? And that's
First of all, before he answers this question, I just want to say affirmative action is so racist, okay? It just backfires right in your face. You try to hire black people just because they're black and just, to level out the playing field because it's so unfair. It's just nonsense, okay? And what you wind up having is a bunch of unqualified people running your companies into the ground. Okay? That's what affirmative action does in most cases.
My question.
No, no reconciliation, no reparations. We've already overly prioritized in society. I'll prove it to you. There is institutional black privilege in society today. And no one wants to say it out loud. Blacks can get into college with lower test scores. They get more acting contracts. They're literally in every other television commercial, right? They're allowed to, literally, if a white person says a certain word, you could be completely terminated from public life, right? And so we spent trillions of dollars post-Great Society, post the Civil Rights Act paired with the Great Society. Did any of that help? No, actually, blacks got poorer on average. And so before the Great Society, 75% of blacks growing up in America had a father and a mother in the home. Now that number is anywhere between 20 to 25%.
Bingo. Bingo. The biggest bingo, because everybody's pointing the finger at the white man and they're making every excuse for pointing the finger at everything else except for the elephant in the room, which is fatherlessness. Okay? Fatherlessness. I grew up in a household without a father. Okay? I'm a miracle. Okay? I had a really strong mom. Okay? A lot of support. But it was very difficult. Okay? So difficult, set us back a long way. What Charlie Kirk is saying is 100% true. How do I know it? Because I lived it myself. Okay, many other people, many other black men in America right now don't have fathers. They're going to wind up in jail or dead. Charlie Kirk is nailing it.
So America got significantly less racist. We spent trillions of dollars in our urban corridor. We implemented affirmative action in our government hiring practices, in our corporate hiring practices, in our college admissions. And yet blacks on average are poorer than they were in proportion to the 1960s. What changed? And the answer is that we are not confident, we're not honestly courageous enough to empower black voices to say, hey, you have to fix the problem in your own communities. It's not about white guilt or white pandering. It's about, how about you stay with the woman you impregnate? How about you stop embracing gangster rap culture?
Oh.
How about you stop listening to music that glorifies the worst part of society?
This is one of the biggest problems that we have. And I'm glad Charlie Kirk is mentioning this. I don't know how old this video is, but it's timeless to me. The hip hop culture it just ruined the black community. You know, it's a darn shame that none of these record labels hold these kids accountable for the lyrics they're making. They said freedom of speech, freedom of speech. I mean, if you say the wrong thing as a conservative, they're ready to take you down, lock you up. Okay? But one of these rappers can get on here. I just saw Kamala Harris have a party at the White House, and I believe the rapper's name was Sexy Red, playing all kinds of awful music in the White House. And this is black excellence? No, it's not. It's not black excellence. Okay? It's a part of the problem that we have. Never let the government control you.
And people are afraid to say this. And Thomas Sowell wrote an entire book about it. And the affirmative action creates race resentment is what ends up happening. And while I acknowledge that, yes, of course there were laws that were unjust in the past, we've already lived under the biggest reparations program in the history of modern society, and it's been an abysmal failure. You want to know what true liberation would look like? Black America taking responsibility for their actions and doing the 3 to 4 things that are necessary to succeed in America. Getting married before you have kids, graduating from high school, get a job, any job, and not committing crimes. This is what...
Facts, okay? Spitting fire right now. Charlie Kirk, I mean, he sounds like a common sense dude. Sound like you know what he's talking about right there, okay?
Drives me nuts about the looting stuff is that people say, well, it's just a matter of, it's a matter of survival. How about you stop acting like a criminal? How about you stop stealing stuff and we justify it? And the more that we do that, the more we are building a baseline of an acceptance. And here's the thing, just so we're clear, blacks make up about 12% of the American population, more specifically black men, 6% of the American population. They're responsible for 60% of the murders. That's a thought crime. You have 6% of the American population doing 60% of the murdering.
Yeah.
And yet white people are the problem? No. It's black privilege, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I agree 100%. Charlie Kirk is telling the absolute truth, man. Imagine what that would look like, though, seriously. If the black community would take responsibility in the inner cities, the men would step up, stay married to the women, get married, first of all, before you have children, be the fathers that you know you're supposed to be, stick around, make the change, see that this is the problem. It would take that you would have to see that this is a problem first. You would have to acknowledge that this is the reason why everything's messed up. This is the only way you would change it. The answer is not government, get the man out of the house, let's take care of the mom, have an abortion if you are a single mom. That's not the answer. The answer is actually to have the father in the household the way God intended it. Okay? This is why we're in a bad situation, because we've got away from the traditional ways that God put in place for us. Marriage. That's what it's for. The family union. That's why we're in trouble. So I agree with Charlie Kirk. I mean, I love watching his videos. It's very, very, I'd say fascinating. Going out to colleges and hearing some of the questions that these college kids have. They really don't know any better. You can't be mad at them because they really don't know. They're kids. They've just been gone to college. They haven't had any experience in the world, so somebody's got to explain this to them. So what a good job that Charlie Kirk has. And Turning Point USA has done a lot of great work. Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, some of my heroes. And I love these kids, man. They are awesome. They really are. I've been following them for a long time. and watching the progress, watching their YouTube channels. America has got to wake up. And these heavy hitters like these guys, Charlie Kirk, Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, are doing a fantastic job. I'm just trying to add on to what they're doing. Also, Black Conservative Perspective, Greg Foreman, doing an excellent job. So I feel optimistic and positive about where we're heading, where we're going, and just bringing back traditional values. And, if we really care about Black people, to me, I'm an American. I care about all people. I want to see everybody do well. Not just Blacks, not just whites, not just Asians. I want to see everyone do well. And we have to get back to traditional values. What got our country started? How do we get started on this journey? What was America like before? When Black people were doing so great? What like Charlie Kirk said, they were married. 2-parent households. Focus on education. Discipline the kids. Sound familiar? Oh, yeah. It's good. That's the way we should be doing it. That's the way we do it in my house. So, guys, we love you. Have a great night. Big shout out to Charlie Kirk, Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens. Congratulations on leaving your old job. And let's see where you go next. But I know it's going to be great. Thank you so much.